if it's currently an
If it's
online
an
mode.
online game, like if you're playing
Yeah,
Overwatch or
but
whatever, that's an
also
online game, so.
there's the option of like updating or not, because like I'm still reeling from the existence of that like what was it, the like cut Tomb Raider Easter egg, where there was like a scene that they just like removed, not because it was like too weird or too spicy, but that like they're like uh, holding on to a thing that to like change,
Your voice got
and
all
so
weird there
basically
for a
it.
minute, and I didn't get what you were saying.
Oh, I forget which Tomb Raider it was, but basically, I think it was the first or second of the new like trilogy that like had a different, had like an extra scene at the end where Lara Croft gets like a letter from like an old friend, um, and someone on like
Is
Reddit
it
was like,
like
"Yo,
is it
is
like
anyone
that
else?"
cliffhanger in Kingdom Hearts 2 where they get like the letter from the king and then it just pans up to the sky and then you hear nothing about it for like fuck, how long did it take Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out?
Well, it's a better example is like imagine a better example is like you know how there's that legend about the like cut scene where the Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to end with like his parents being like, "Hey, we're alive and we're super spies," but they cut it.
Yeah.
Well, now imagine that like you were in the theaters and saw that, but you were in the only like the only like theater that played the original
Oh wait, you
version before
told
they
me
just cut
about
the scene out.
this. You told me about
Yeah, but it
this.
was in the Lara Croft game. Yeah, and that was so wild to me because the reason why it had that scene is that like that scene was actually like patched out, like after like shortly after it was released, and it's so wild because like most of the time when a game is updated, it's like a big positive forward momentum thing. Like your what's it called? Your like your No Man's Sky or like Dying Light 2, where like every time they update it, it's like, oh snap, this is great.
Is Fallout
But like
76 worth playing yet, or are they just... Is it ever gonna be?
man,
I
I'm
don't know the
very
state of Fallout
the closest I'm
76.
gonna get to Fallout 76 is I want to do like a stream where I run a tabletop game, and I want of like the Fallout the Fallout setting, but I keep it interesting and spicy, where it's like, oh, that is a cool idea.
Right.
But as far as I know, it's like, oh, Fallout 76 got better. It's still not great, but everyone who's like still like playing it is everyone who's playing it is glad that they haven't wasted all their time. But it's sort of it feels like a sunk cost fallacy kind of deal.
Right. Anyway, hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Phoenix Wright. We're the People Orange. I'm Bluejack. That's Taylor. And I got a cat here.
We're playing Phoenix. I think I was talking to my little sister, and I called it Phoenix Wright, and she called it Ace Attorney. And it's funny because it's like, oh, that's because like, from my perspective, like I only know the franchise with Phoenix Wright as like, what's the word? As,
Yeah,
like, the
there's
main,
like other
protagonist.
protagonists throughout the franchise, like at least two that I know of, and that's not even including Miles Edgeworth, who I think leads his own spin-off games on like the PSP or something. I don't think they're on Steam, but they probably should be.
But yeah, and because of that, I was like, oh right, it's it really is what's the word? It's Ace Attorney.
It really
it's
is.
Phoenix Wright, colon, and then in bigger words, Ace Attorney.
Yeah, because this is just his story. There are other Ace
You can take a
Attorneys.
screenshot. You can take a screenshot of this, and it's just first-person shooters. Are you camping there anyway?
Yeah, speaking of first-person shooters, I want to play Friends vs. Friends. It's like a first-person shooter game with like cards in it that affect your gameplay, and it looks fun.
I will message you that so I don't forget. friends.
Yes. Anyway, why were you camping there anyway?
I'm a research student at my university. I know that, the reason why we didn't, stream Days Gone was, twofold, where one, big YouTubers were already playing it, and they had, better editing and such, and, two, it was, before we really got into streaming, and I was like, oh yeah, I just want to, play through this, but looking back on it, if we had, because it's, the type of game that also has, lots of bits of scrounging that wouldn't necessarily be super interesting. If we did stream Days Gone, or not stream Days Gone, if we played Days Gone, and I did the editing or something, I feel like we have to eventually do that. One, because it would be a return to Days Gone to see if it still holds up and what parts we still like, and two, because I feel like we'd be putting our camera where our mouth is, where it's oh well, if Days Gone is so good, then you should stream it.
We should, but I wanna. Okay, so I can't. Do we? I definitely want to play Days Gone. I definitely want to be the one on the controller if we play that. But
oh no.
do you want to do we take turns? Cause
Oh,
I feel like you also want to be on the controller, and we can't both be on the controller at the same time.
That's the stream that's gonna destroy our friendship. Well, wasn't that my joke with Arkham Knight? If we streamed Arkham Knight, I would want to have the controller the whole time because I've played it 3.5 times now.
Yeah.
And I got really good at it, and I was just so proud of how high my combos would go.
Okay,
that
look.
I need to be I need to show you this.
Okay, look. I'll give you Arkham Knight if I get to have Days Gone.
All right. We should have not a mulligan. We should have a thing where a phone a friend situation where if you do die a bunch, that I can take over for a bit.
Yeah.
But, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, for sure.
Maybe we should have a third person who's playing the game fresh. That way, it's us telling stories.
Yeah.
And occasionally we help, but it's their raw reaction. Because I imagine the beauty of just having a third person. They're oh, this train yard seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
If we could get a third person to do this with us, man, we have weird luck with getting more people in our stream because M's pretty consistently okay, I think, but she's not available a bunch, and Death kind of same thing. But most of the people we get who were on here are people that we kind of didn't want to stream with anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that it's what's the word? It's like my old it's tricky because it's one thing to have the what's the word? The capital to stream, you set up your OBS and you set up your mic and everything. But it's another thing to to be really good at streaming, and we're all right. Our audio is sometimes kind of messy, and our timing isn't great.
Yeah.
But we have a good time telling stories, and I feel like if we get if you and I get some good chuckles in an episode, that's a good episode,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But and that's why we would need someone who's got that energy. They have to what's the word? That brings another layer to it.
Yeah. I do love the idea of just exposing someone to Days Gone for the first time and getting their live reaction. Yo, it's the live. Speaking of live reactions, I got a fucking live reaction from both my grandma and my sister when they saw me play Last of Us for the first time, because my grandma would do this thing where she would come out into my room and hang out with one of the cats, cat who's very grumpy and she doesn't really like anyone. She'll attach herself to one person at a time, and it's been 3 people and
like a barnacle?
Yeah, like a barnacle. Like whoever is currently alive, that's who she attaches to, and then they're gone, and then she finds another one to attach to. And when my grandma was in the process of becoming her new person after my uncle died, but she would hang out here in my room in the back with the couch. So my grandma would bring out treats to give her and talk to her and sort of like socialize her and get her to like be less lonely, which worked. She got really attached to grandma, but as a result, she would end up watching a bunch of the games that I'd be playing at the time. Like she would just be on the couch watching, hanging out with the cat while I'm playing my games, and Beth would sometimes come out and keep her company. And they were both out here with the cat when I played Last of Us, when I turned on Last of Us 1 for the first time, which opened with, the daughter dying. So, like, they're done in the room, they get ready to head out into the living room, and they're just depressed as hell, like God damn, that sucked!
Yeah, I have, the thing is, how would Carl, I think this is how, like, Carl Smallwood would put it. It's like, look, I can admit that The Last of Us has, like, good graphics, and good acting, and good cinematography, and good level design, and good mechanics, and that I disagree with some of the, like, premises of the setting, but I don't think that, like, the whole thing is bad, and that's because I have a thing called media literacy.
See, here's...
that intro is so strong because,
it's
like,
very strong.
I don't know about you, but have you ever had that sensation, I feel like this is a real sensation that you get from, like, when you watch a horror movie and then you're just at home, and then you're just like, it's the outdoors is really dark, and you're just like, what if there's a thing out there? What if there's things? It's that sensation, but it's like full circle where you literally you have an adult and you have like a kid and you have a big sliding glass door, and you're like, oh no, we can't live in the place with the sliding glass door. Those are really fragile. And you're just seeing like, oh, there's riots going on, but the rioters are biting people. That's weird. And you're just like, oh no, it's right out there. It's right out there, isn't it?
Yep.
Like you can feel it in your bones, and it's like it's building up that sort of like dread before showing any like zombies is man, it's just mwah.
Yeah, it's very good. Sliding glass doors always make me laugh because they always make me think of the scene in the Recess movie where they're like, TJ, did you run into the sliding glass door again? Because, like, TJ comes up to his mom talking about some conspiracy stuff going on at his school, and she's just like, oh my god, no, I think he actually does hit the glass door. He literally does hit the glass door, and then, like, goes in the side, and then starts rambling to his mom about some stuff, and she's like, oh man, okay, you're babbling nonsense, I'm gonna take your temperature, I'm gonna go get a thermometer. And then he goes to his dad and starts rambling shit, and he goes, TJ, did you run into the sliding glass door again? And he gets frustrated and runs away, and he yells, come back, your mom's gonna wanna take your temperature.
Oh, I love scenes like that where like you set up a thing and then you add a second joke and then you get back to the first bit.
I don't remember a lot of Recess, but that's one bit that always stuck with me. It was a very good bit. Anyway, were you voicing her?
I was taking pictures to use in my research.
What research? This all sounds suspicious. Press further.
I was doing research on the Babe.
What Babe?
The Babe with the power.
What power?
Hydroelectric power.
Hydroelectric power?
Yeah, you do.
Do what?
Remind me of the Babe. It's like they say, power corrupts, and hydroelectric power corrupts hydroelectrically.
Hydroelectric power corrupts hydroelectrically.
Shout out to game levels that have a hydroelectric dam. It's got to be one of my favorite genders.
I thought you guys were watching Pirates.
No, we're streaming right now. We're streaming. But yeah, it's just good. But yeah. Miss Hart. Could you be more specific about your research? His voice catches me off guard every time because it's nothing at all like what we're trying to convey.
Well, I mentioned that in a previous episode that it's like that. Yeah, it's like objection. Like it really is like a cartoon demon.
Just a cartoon demon.
You know, it's like the Bowser laugh.
Yeah.
Dude, how funny would it have been if in the Mario movie, like Jack Black as the voice of Bowser, like he tells a joke, and then instead of his Jack Black laugh, it's just the Bowser laugh. He's like, "Oh man, wouldn't that be funny?" Like it's completely the wrong tone.
Just a raw kind of laugh. Who is it? Who is it that played Donkey Kong?
That was Seth Rogen, I believe.
Seth Rogen, and it's just his
Do the
voice.
Seth Rogen laugh.
It's just literally his voice with the Seth Rogen laugh.
I do love the concept that like out of all the Donkey Kong family, that DK is like this like big beefy showboat where like he's got his own theme song and the crowd like he's basically like the crowd treats him like he's like Wayne the Rock Johnson.
Man, I just want to fucking fast forward for Donkey Kong characters where not Chunky, what's his name? The big, not Chunky, the other one, his brother or something, I think? The one that's in the third Donkey Kong Country game that Coco has to do.
Is he big? Is he small? Is he
Not
lanky?
Coco.
Is he grumpy?
Is it Dixie? Is it Dixie Coco? I think it's Coco. No, he's just a large fucking How do I not know his name? I knew his name
I think
before.
Chunky is the one that's like super strong.
No. Chunky is the one that's super strong, but I'm talking about like his brother, I think, his smaller brother, who is in the third Donkey Kong Country game where
Does he have a coconut gun that fires in spurts?
No, that's Diddy. Look, the point that I'm trying to get at is that he's a very large toddler who could probably be the largest Kong like ever if he grows up, and I just want to fast forward timeline where we get to see that guy he's just like fucking huge.
I had that thought when I was a kid, because I met these students that were like way taller, like just tall for their age, and I was like, oh, you'll probably be giants when you grow up, and then I didn't realize that like, oh, people just sometimes like mature at slightly different rates, and that like if you hit your growth spurt early, then you'll be taller, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll just grow up to be a giant.
Yeah. Fuck, this is really bugging me. I'm gonna look up his name real quick. Donkey Kong Country.
Hold on, let me do it. You read for Von Karma.
Fine. I'll read for Von Karma. You look it up. Look up Donkey Kong Country 3 characters. What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with this case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained.
Keep forgetting about I think it was Funky Kong. Yeah, Funky Kong. He's so funky.
He's the coolest Kong. He's the funkiest.
Wait now, I'm the. Wait now, I'm the one who says that.
Well then, say it already.
Objection sustained.
Thanks for nothing, Your Honor.
There's so many Kongs I didn't know about. There's a swanky Kong who is presumably very swanky.
There's a Swanky? I don't think I knew about Swanky Kong. What is the large toddler Kong from DK3?
Let me see here. Wrinkly Kong, Candy Kong, Tiny Kong, Lanky Kong, Funky Kong. Oh, Chunky's younger brother, Kitty Kong?
That's the one, Kitty Kong.
Yeah, he's Chunky's younger brother. And presumably he has Chunky's super strength. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I want a fucking fast forward timeline where we get to see that dude and he's just the largest Kong. Like fucking huge for no reason. Because look at how big he is, and he's supposed to be a fucking child. He's like a baby and he's fucking huge.
He eats like the bananas have like Kong growth hormone.
Kitty Kong just like grows up to be King Kong. He's like the largest beast.
Now that I think about it, like if there is a family, if there is a like Kong royal family, then it's like, oh, we have to call him like Emperor Kong or Archduke Kong because King Kong is copyrighted.
Oh, dude, you're right. What about Emperor Kong?
I said Emperor Kong.
All
or
right.
Daimyo Kong or Shogun Kong.
Chief Kong.
Kodal Kong. No, wait.
Kodal Kong?
Kodal is the name. Khan is the title.
Of course.
Just imagine Kodal Khan like in like a really like mundane like office setting, and he's just like signing up for something to join like some kind of program, and it's just like name Kodal, surname, and then it's like some really elaborate sort of like Mesoamerican name that's like 7 syllables long.
It's just
and
that
then it's
fucking
just, like,
scene from
title you go by, and it's like Khan.
Taylor, it's that fucking scene from Spy Kids where like each sibling gives like their full name, and it's just like 6 names long for each of them, and it's just the fucking name of the director's kids.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. I remember learning only like a year or two later that like that's a real like thing that you some like families sort of you inherit a series of sort of not middle names. I don't know the technical term because I'm not like a nameologist. But it's like a
Nameology.
You sort of inherit all the names. Yeah, you inherit like all the surnames of like your past like
the names of your
grandparents and
ancestors.
great-grandparents. And so you get these really really long names, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Which I love that as a concept. That's just really cool.
Plus it was like I feel like there's like a thematic thing where it's like, oh, well, you got to input your names incorrect. It's like, oh, no, you have to input your real names, and it's like, oh, like my culturally important like
all of
name,
your name,
your
every
name,
part of the name,
that kinda goes
all
hard.
6 names.
Yeah, it's cool. That's something that you like. You could probably do it in other cultures, but not every other culture. You know, like it's a thing that they get to do, and I like that.
Neat.
I think it's cool.
It's just neat. So you weren't looking at the lake at that time?
Nope. I looked after I heard that noise, and for those joining us, I believe there were 2 shots, not just one.
Yeah, there were. She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. When I looked out the window, I saw 2 Jensen about. I'm pressing her on everything. That's just how I do these cases.
I think that's safe.
Could you clearly see the 2 men?
Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you? No.
No, not really. It's quite blurry, in fact. Uh-oh. Press further. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the 2 men.
Yeah, because I don't think she did.
Nah. The witness has testified that she saw them. There's also a photo. You best look elsewhere for your precious contradictions. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something. Oh, that wasn't me skipping over your line, by the way. That was the game, like, auto-scrolling through her because I was getting interrupted. Sorry, I didn't want you to think that I was just...
It's a lot more precise.
I didn't want you to think that I was just, like, skipping over you. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something. There was
another bang.
Yeah, tell me about the other bang, Lotta Hart. Were you watching the very moment the gun, the shot rang out? And the shot rang out, yeah.
Well, yeah, sure.
You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless. I cannot remember what voice I was trying to give this guy. You keep like instructing me on how to voice him.
It's an authoritative whisper that's like low and imperious.
Contradictions, Mr. Wright. Not meaningless babble.
Yeah, try to put more focus more on your gut and less on your jowls, and you'll get it.
Not meaningless babble. We don't
And then, yeah,
we
and
need
then put a little bit more
contradictions,
air
Mr.
into
Wright.
it.
We need contradictions, Mr. Wright, not meaningless babble.
We need to cook, Mr. White.
We need to cook,
Mr. Wright.
White.
We're breaking bread.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Us making Breaking Bad memes in the stream. He can keep getting away with it.
I can't keep getting away with this. I still have to finish Better Call Saul. I'm just gonna have to start that one from the beginning again because I don't remember shit that's going on in that show. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end? There wasn't there a thing on the lake, but I was there now. Well, likely story. Are you sure about that?
Sure as a country gal can be.
That sounds pretty sure. Press further. What'd you say, Tyler?
What's that supposed to mean?
Who's that supposed to be? How come you're so sure?
Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake.
Scan the whole lake?
It's just cuts to the lake scene, but like, editor, take the sort of lake scene at night and then just add like the stock animation of like a red sort of laser like wiggling across the screen.
See, I was thinking of like No Man's Sky when you're scanning for certain items, and I'm just like,
use the No Man's Sky sound effects. But it's clearly the type of laser that's looking for a gazer beam.
Oh, you mean like the hiding behind the corpse of a dead
super.
I still can't get over it.
Dude,
and you know, he's right. That was an amazing move.
Like Days Gone. I'm still geeking out about it.
Yeah, no, Days Gone. Oh man, Days Gone will stick with me forever, and I will go back to replay it at some point, I'm sure. And I can't wait for when I do, because I'm gonna be doing a New Game Plus on it, because I've earned that right. Anyway,
how funny would it be if as like a little like detail, like one little background detail, if like in one of the Last of Us games, you're in like a pharmacy, and it's like, oh, all the bandages and stuff are taken. There's a lot of like regular over-the-counter medications that people didn't take, but it's like all the bandages are taken, all the pain pills are taken, and then it's like the section that's like for like foot fungus and stuff is completely empty. It's like, you know, in the early years we really tried to avoid it by just using this cream on like doorways to keep them away.
That's unfortunate.
Turn it into a spray. It's like their one weakness.
It almost sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boat. Miss Hart, you... Shut up, Karma. Fuck.
Do my job.
Let me talk. Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the question in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained.
That's what I'm...
Sustained!
Yes, of course.
Man, you look like
you need to have more willpower than either of the prosecutors.
You know, Judge, you look
witnesses.
like you're about to turn super jacked for no reason and unleash a Kamehameha, but you act like a petulant little, I don't know, what's a cowardly character from a show that everyone hates? Ronaldo from Steven Universe? You act like Ronaldo from Steven Universe and I hate you.
I was gonna say like early season Lars, where he's too easily what's the word? He's too easily manipulated.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Ronaldo's a bit too harsh. Look, so you know how some cartoons just have that that lumpy space princess, or like that fucking, what's the one in Steven not Steven Universe, Star, Ponyhead. You know that character that just
Ponyhead
you
is straight
hate,
up just an antagonist.
just an antagonist.
Like,
yeah, for Steven Universe, it's fucking Ronaldo. I hate him. He's the worst character, and I wish he would die.
Like,
He's so
I feel
annoying.
like my Steven Universe theory actually like goes even harder when you consider Ronaldo because like remember how I said like, oh, everything in Steven Universe comes together when you think about it from like family dynamics, where it's like, oh, all these characters that are supposed to, especially like the diamonds or what have you, like they're supposed to be like, they're mentioned as like space opera, space dictators or whatever, but they're actually written as just like Steven's like grandma, basically, like his aunts.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not as big of a deal for him to fight and then resolve like issues with them. Is that on a writing level they weren't supposed to be Palpatine. They were supposed to be I don't know, just weird relatives. But I think that's the reason why like. I think that's the reason why like Ronaldo comes off as so like odd, is that because he's not related to anyone, he doesn't have to like, because he's not related to Steven, he doesn't have to like be like resolved or anything.
He's like that annoying side character who shows up in your house in one of those old sitcoms without consent that annoys everyone. Like, what is it, Roger from, I think, Sister or something, where they're always like, go home, Roger. I think Family Matters had that with Urkel.
Sort of, but it's more than that, because in Steven Universe, like, every character that isn't outright a villain tends to be, like, pretty nice, or, like, have all flaws or whatever, but, like, and normally, as you get to know them, they sort of, just meeting Steven gives them sort of redemption arc. But Ronaldo is like one of the few characters that like you think like you, at least from my perspective, I was like, oh, Ronaldo has like a blog that's called Keep Beach City Weird, and he talks about how stuff is going on. This could be really interesting. This could be like basically the like he could be discovering all this sort of like Gravity Falls stuff, except it's just gems all the way down.
He could be the guy that narrates everything, but he doesn't.
Yeah, but instead, as we learn more about him, like we learn that like he's like, just like what's it, conspiratorial, paranoid, untrustworthy, untrusting.
I look at the episode where it goes into his backstory where he and Lars used to be friends, and you know, I feel like the show wants me to think, oh, what happened? Why can't you guys go back to being friends? But instead what I end up thinking is, I'm glad you went to space and got away from that fucker, because no one deserves to be around that guy. No, you were right. You were right to ditch that guy. You were right to stop hanging out with him. He sucks, I hate him, and he only makes you worse.
And it's, I think part of the fandom hate is also in a meta sense, because some of the promotional material around the time that Ronaldo was going to get his own episode, they're like, "Yo, we got another gem called, I don't know, Bloodstone or whatever," and then it's just Ronaldo being like, "What if I was a gem and I was called Bloodstone?" Or dude, it's been years. I don't remember. But, like,
yeah, that was a very bad episode. No, fuck out of here. Anyway, welcome to our Steven Universe podcast. Oh, great.
Enough! I think we've heard all we need to hear, Mr. Wright.
Motherfucker, no you haven't.
You are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting.
But, Your Honor... You keep your promise. I'm not sure what the fuck that voice was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That was,
Mr. Wright. I'm afraid I will have to penalize any further outbursts. Holding you in contempt of court.
Oh, fuck you! And if that happens, you'll have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood?
I had to. Hold on. Nick! Lana's testimony's fishy, Nick. Real fishy.
I know what you mean, but if I can't say anything, what can I do?
I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision.
Then pass your judgment.
Oh, hold on. I'm finding where we left off in the at like a walkthrough here. Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand.
Hold it. What?
Who is that? It was me.
It was me.
It was me.
It was me. I ate all the candy.
I was stealing my own candy.
I ate all of my own candy and forgot that I ate it all. Just following the trail of candy wrappers around like, oh, I ate my candy. Maya!
Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities? No, I do not. Lana Hart. Her testimony stinks. Her testimony is bad, and you should feel bad.
Thank you, Dr. Zoidberg. Shrine Maiden Zoidberg.
Thank you for getting my reference.
Fucking Zoidberg over here channeling dead spirits. I'm going to channel the spirit of my dead cousin. Anyway.
It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth.
This sprite looks funny to me for some reason. I don't know why. Like, she's supposed to look determined and cool, but it looks goofy to me.
I think it's, her bangs look different. This is a matter of life or death.
I like how you can see her eyebrows through her hair. She's got the special kind of eyebrows.
It's an anime thing, yeah. Lana! Lana!
Lana!
Thank you, H. John Benjamin or whatever.
Then I guess just pout.
Did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol? Hold on, I gotta... Stand down! Court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst. Answer me, Lana. It's a big idea treating me like some kind of criminal. I saw him, I swear it. I saw Edgeworth.
I don't believe you. Enough! Judge, declare the defense in contempt of court.
Yes, of course. Sorry, but you were warned. Guard, scored Mr. Wright. No, I scored just Maya.
I was gonna say, like, that wasn't my outburst. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just Maya. Maya is just our extra HP.
Extra.
It's like be more risky.
It's like when you lose your hat in LA Noire.
Must leave.
It's like when you lose your hat in LA Noire.
Oh, that's a deep cut. I remember. I mean, it's the same mechanic behind what was it? Red Dead Redemption 2, where your hat is usually hit first.
LA Noire is a game that I need to play a game and that I have on Steam but just haven't gotten to yet. And the reason I need to play the game is because it's one of those games that I tried to stream, like, in a blind playthrough.
Years ago.
Yeah, but it's one of those
I
games
want
that
another
really.
LA Noire.
It's one of those games that made me realize that it's much more difficult for me to really understand and appreciate a game when I'm trying to like stream it for an audience the first time. Like I have to have some kind of previous exposure to something like LA Noire beforehand. Not like so recent that there's nothing to talk about, but enough that I'm like not confused on what I'm supposed to be doing or like missing important clues or whatever, because I was not focused on what I was supposed to be doing in that game at all. It was a horrible playthrough. It was bad. It was really bad. uh, anyway.
Whack his pee-pee.
What?
He's in contempt of court and must leave.
No.
Dude, how wild would it be if contempt of court also, like, suspended the trial? You actually got more time?
That would be sick, actually.
What if... No, that wouldn't work that way. I was gonna say, like, how wild would it be if someone avoided us, like, turning the table, like, they knew about our reputation for turning the tables, and they're like, oh, Phoenix has just shown to the jury that, like, they're not guilty, but he hasn't figured out who actually did it. And so, like, in order to avoid that, they just, like, deliberately show contempt of court. So, like, they're like, all right, well, this person's gone, we're suspending this, and the jury will just decide from here. So they go not guilty, but also they don't prosecute the person who was definitely the one who did it.
Yeah.
It's like a late game Monopoly when you're like, well, I don't have to pay rent if I'm in jail.
Right. No.
Wait, I don't know who's
Wait,
saying wait.
I don't know either who's yelling.
I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent.
Oh, hey, that's
On legal
nice of
terms,
her.
Nick is not guilty.
True. Huh. What's the difference? All that remains is for the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wrong!
Okay, hey, now I know where we are, because there was a thing that just said, choose wrong.
Nice. Wrong. What? Did you hear what Miss Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony. That changes her testimony, and I have a right to cross-examine her again.
Does the editor put in the... it doesn't sound the same if it's not sitting on a desk. Hold on.
Get it together. Nice.
Order. Careful.
Yeah, can I get the orange chicken with honey nut walnut trump?
You have spoken out of turn, and your request for orange chicken shall be stricken from the record.
No, orange chicken.
Maurice, you spoke out of turn. Out of order. You're out of order. He's out of order. The vending machine in the cafeteria is out of order.
Oh, that's Jimmy Neutron. I remember that bit.
Oh, sorry, this is Karma.
That's one of those lines that I only really know better from how much it was referenced in like my childhood shows than what it was actually from. I don't even know what it's originally from. I only know it's a popular line.
No, I'm pretty sure. I mean, out of order is like a legal thing, but no, that was I think it was a Jimmy Neutron thing.
Yeah. That's like right up there with the "you can't handle the truth" line.
Yeah, where it's like I didn't see the movie, but I knew the line.
Yeah. You're in contempt of court. It's too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. Judge about to grow some balls right now.
Using my Kaioken, but for balls.
Combining it with the Super
They say
Saiyan
that
Blue.
the judge's balls grew 3 sizes that day. I don't know how ball sizes are measured. Would it be like it'd be like a bra system? I don't know.
It's like a 36 double D but for testicles.
Well,
But like it's measured differently, so they wouldn't
just
be
your waistline, and then the cup size would just be like a relative size. It's just like along a spectrum. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Karma, but I cannot.
What?
I was gonna say, editor put up Phoenix Wright in the middle of pointing, and he says, and secondly, if he was a clone of Hitler, slaps the desk, then why does he look nothing like him?
Then why does he look nothing like Hitler?
I don't know why, like that. It's that line, but with that line delivery, where it's like, wait, hold on, yeah, you're right. Out of all the things that we've assumed about this character, how would he be a clone of Hitler if he doesn't, like, he has vastly different, like, cheekbones and, like, a different hair color and everything. Like, he would look different.
He would look different. Makes no sense. Anyway. You're
Miss
lying.
Hart has made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again.
Yeah! But he is in contempt of court!
Oh, I am. Miss Maya Fey, if you keep reminding us that you're in contempt of court, I will hold you in contempt of court.
Miss Maya, if you insist on continuing to try to take responsibility for your outburst, I will be making you held accountable for your outburst.
I will hold you in double contempt of court, and you shall go to double jail with Larry Butts.
Yo, they got like double chocolate chip cookies in here, man. It's fucking weird.
It's double chip. Shout out for anyone who's been watching our series long enough to still get that.
Yeah, for sure.
He gets double jail. Alright.
There's double pillows and double the bars. There's way more bars here than in the other cells.
There's a comical amount of bars. They're the same size, but it's more like imagine if you tried to build the same level design but with twice the assets. Like there's just bars overlapping that are just phasing through.
It's like
also there.
It's like think about that time we were playing Apex and we went into, I think it was the bunker, and it was just filled with like Watson fences and caustic traps for no reason.
Yeah.
Like it did not need to be like that. Someone had like an agenda here.
The guard dogs have to be the Orthrus dog.
The Orthrus dog from
Yeah, the double dog.
Oh yeah.
The double dogs.
Cerberus's brother, who for some reason is the one with multiple heads, but for some reason Cerberus only has one. I don't get it.
If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me. Very well. Can we do that?
Can we do that?
Very well. Maya Fey. Leave the courtroom immediately. Heck. I did what I could. Oh, fun fact, in the text game, Liberal Crime Squad, whenever if you surrender or are captured, then like it'll basically your character, whatever character was captured, goes through like the whole like legal system. So they're like they're in jail, and then will be in like the courtroom, and then there'll be a trial, and if they're found guilty, then they'll be in jail or prison for X amount of time, that sort of thing. But and you can even like have like sleeper agents, where if you have both like a sleeper judge and a sleeper lawyer, then you can really sort of stack the deck in your favor, because the judge will just like the lawyer is both a skilled lawyer and also like is like fully invested in like defending, and then the judge is just like, oh, that's a good point, sustain, like
yeah.
But
Man,
what I didn't know is that there's a suspicion system, and if you've been like running around the map but you haven't done anything illegal, where you're just like making people nervous, but like if they count as like suspicious, and then someone raises the alarm and runs away, and then you're caught, but you don't you haven't stolen anything, and no one caught you breaking and entering or anything, then it counts as one count of loitering, which is as expected really easy to defend. And I just thought that was really funny, where it's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't do a crime. And it's just like, oh, well, we were nervous. We saw you and we got nervous, so you have one count of loitering.
What game is that from?
It's called Liberal Crime Squad New Age. It's a browser game. It's quite addictive, so don't play it too much. But it's got this whole law system and stuff, and the only reason why I don't use the law system more often is because it also takes 1 or 2 months for a character to go from being caught basically to actually going to trial.
Huh.
Yeah,
I know.
so, but if you're kind of sneaky about it, then especially with misdemeanors, loitering because you were sneaking around a base or something. If it's a relatively minor crime, then you have a decent chance of winning, especially if you have sleepers, and so you can actually gain points by successfully defending your guys in court.
Right.
And it's kind of neat.
Sounds neat.
Oh, sorry. You have to do the rest. Good luck. I must go now. My people need me.
I must go. My people need me. Bam! I care not for this melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate
I care not for this family. Their matters.
I care not for these family matters. Or these...
this family, their matters.
His family and their matters. You with your family and your matters and your family matters.
I'll have to wrap this up soon. I'm excited.
Yes, yes. Let's get through the rest of this dialogue first. I do not tolerate badgering of my witnesses. I'm running out of time. I'd better find a contradiction in here else.
Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination.
And we will do that next time on Peopleorians.
Peopleorians!
Wait, nope, I can't save the game. I have to fucking click through this first, the last
statement.
Can I not? Okay, now I can save. Alright.
Again, not a problem.
And we will come back to this next time. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Lou Jack. Tyler!
Ben Taylor.
and I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
And don't jump off a cliff.
And stay hydrated. And go watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Bye!
Close it down. Change my shirt.
Lock it down. Shut it down.